In the year 2035, a strange silence spreads across the Pacific. Global internet traffic slows, underwater sensors fail, and deep below, 12,000 feet under crushing pressure, a secret war is being fought. But this is not science fiction. This is the very real future being written right now, deep in the oceans, where China, the US, and the world's superpowers race for control. China has been quietly building the most ambitious deep-sea expansion program in history. From manned submersibles like Fenduzi, capable of reaching the Mariana Trench, to fleets of autonomous underwater drones, to proposals for permanent undersea habitats and mining stations, Beijing is preparing for a future where the ocean floor is the new battlefield and the new gold mine. Why? Because beneath the ocean floor lies the treasure of the 21st century, rare earth metals, cobalt, manganese, and polymetallic nodules, the resources needed for electric cars, quantum computers, and missile guidance systems. A 2021 paper in Nature warned, "The deep sea is Earth's largest reservoir of untapped minerals, but its exploitation risks permanent damage to fragile ecosystems." Yet for China, the risks are worth the prize. They already control 80% of rare earth refining on land. Now they're diving deeper, literally, to secure the future of technology. Picture this: a United Nations emergency summit in 2037. Delegates whisper in panic. The US accuses China of sabotaging a trans-Pacific data cable. China denies it, but satellite footage shows shadowy unmanned subs near the break. Suddenly, the seabed is no longer neutral ground. It's a chessboard of hidden weapons and spy drones. This is not far-fetched. A 2023 Rand Corporation report warned that undersea cables carrying 95% of global internet traffic are highly vulnerable, and China's Navy is already experimenting with seafloor listening posts and underwater surveillance networks, creating what some analysts call a Great Wall of the Sea. Meanwhile, the US, Japan, and Australia scramble to respond with their own deep-sea technologies. But the ocean is not just a battlefield. It's a living system. Marine biologists warn that disturbing hydrothermal vents could wipe out species we've never even discovered. Dr. Jeffrey Drazen of the University of Hawaii cautioned, "The deep sea hosts life forms that may hold cures to diseases, yet we risk destroying them before we even know they exist." In other words, by rushing into seabed mining, humanity may destroy the very future it seeks to build. By 2040, imagine underwater cities, sealed domes glowing in the abyss, powered by geothermal vents. China calls it the blue frontier. But critics call it the next colonization, one where the seabed becomes the South China Sea on steroids. The ocean floor is Earth's last frontier. Whoever controls it controls the flow of information, energy, and critical resources. China is betting its future on the deep sea. The US and its allies are racing to keep up, and we, humanity, stand at a crossroads. Will the seabed be a place of cooperation, or the site of the world's first underwater war? The story of the deep ocean is no longer about fish and coral reefs. It's about power, survival, and the hidden empire beneath the waves. So tell me, when the lights go out on land, who will truly own the world beneath? China's deep-sea ambitions are not new, but they've accelerated dramatically in recent years. The Fenduzi submersible, capable of reaching the deepest parts of the ocean, is just the tip of the iceberg. Beijing has invested billions in developing autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, that can map the seafloor, collect samples, and potentially even engage in covert operations. These AUVs are more than just scientific tools. They're the scouts of a new kind of warfare. Imagine swarms of underwater drones able to disrupt communications, plant sensors, or even attack enemy vessels, all while remaining virtually undetectable. It's a scenario that keeps military strategists up at night. But China's not alone in this underwater arms race. The United States, through its DARPA agency, has been developing its own advanced submersibles and AUVs. Projects like the Manta Ray aim to create long-endurance underwater drones that can operate autonomously for months at a time. The race is on, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The geopolitical implications of this deep-sea expansion are staggering. Control of the seabed means control of vital resources, communication lines, and strategic military positions. It's not just about rare earth metals, though those are crucial. It's about shaping the future of global power dynamics. Consider the strategic importance of undersea cables. These fiber optic lifelines carry over 95% of international data traffic. A coordinated attack on these cables could cripple global communications and financial systems in minutes. It's a vulnerability that's becoming increasingly apparent as tensions rise between major powers. China's string of pearls strategy, establishing a network of naval bases across the Indian Ocean, takes on new meaning when viewed through the lens of deep-sea capabilities. Each pearl could serve as a hub for underwater operations, extending Beijing's reach far beyond its shores. But the environmental cost of this underwater gold rush is potentially catastrophic. The deep sea is one of the least understood ecosystems on Earth. Hydrothermal vents, once thought to be barren, are now known to host unique life forms that could hold the key to medical breakthroughs or technological innovations. Dr. Cindy Van Dover, a deep-sea biologist at Duke University, warns, "We are on the brink of irreversibly altering ecosystems that have remained stable for millions of years. The potential for disaster is immense." The rush to exploit these resources could lead to a tragedy of the commons on a global scale. The legal framework governing the deep sea is woefully inadequate for the challenges ahead. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, was drafted long before the current technological capabilities were even imagined. As a result, there are massive gray areas when it comes to regulating deep-sea activities. This legal vacuum has led to a Wild West mentality, with nations and corporations staking claims to vast swathes of the ocean floor. The International Seabed Authority, tasked with regulating deep-sea mining, has been criticized for being too slow to act and too easily influenced by powerful interests. The potential for conflict is not limited to great power rivalries. Smaller nations, particularly island states, are becoming increasingly aware of the wealth beneath their waters. This could lead to a new wave of resource nationalism, with countries fiercely guarding their maritime territories. As we peer into the murky future of deep-sea politics, one thing becomes clear. The decisions we make now will shape the fate of our planet for generations to come. Will we choose cooperation or conflict? Conservation or exploitation? The answer may well determine the course of human history. The deep sea holds secrets that could revolutionize our understanding of life itself. Extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme conditions, could provide insights into the origins of life on Earth and the potential for life on other planets. By rushing to exploit the seabed, we risk destroying these scientific treasures before we even understand their significance. As we stand on the brink of this new frontier, we must ask ourselves, what kind of legacy do we want to leave? Will future generations look back on this era as the beginning of a new age of discovery and cooperation? Or will they see it as the moment when humanity's greed and short-sightedness led to irreparable harm to our planet's last unexplored realm? The choice is ours. The clock is ticking. And the fate of the deep blue sea, and perhaps our entire world, hangs in the balance.